my dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke, and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. My dear students, today in Standard 6th Geography, we'll be learning the topic weather and climate. So, in this topic, we are going to talk about the concept of weather and climate, and also the elements of weather. And here we are going to start. As you can see on the screen, two images, one is with weather and one is with climate, and in between it is written that versus weather versus climate. So, what exactly difference is in between the weather and climate, that you can understand by this picture, by this image. But here in this topic we have to go in detail about all these things. So, again, very simple thing to understand about the concept of weather and climate. Climate is what we expect. Climate is what we expect, and weather is what we get. बहुत ज़्यादा गर्मी हो रही होती है तो हमें लगता है कि थोड़ी सी हवा होनी चाहिए, थोड़ी सी बारिश होनी चाहिए, और जब 7-8 दिन तक कंटिन्यू बारिश होती है तो हमें लगता है कि अब बारिश रुकनी चाहिए, थोड़ी सी धूप होनी चाहिए. So, this is what is the basic difference between the climate and weather. Climate is what we expect and weather is what we get. जो हमें मिलता है उसे हम weather कहते हैं, which we can't change, जिसमें हम change नहीं कर सकते, और climate जो हमें लगता है कि ऐसा होना चाहिए. So, these two keywords keep in mind about the climate and weather, that climate is what we expect and weather is what we get. This image from our textbook. The weather conditions of a few places in India are as follows on 10th June, and use the table to answer the questions. So, places Kochi, Bhopal and Mussoorie. Kochi of Kerala state, then Bhopal in MP and Mussoorie in Uttarakhand. So, at the time of 12:30 p.m. in all the cities, weather is cloudy in Kochi, in Bhopal it is hot and sunny, and in Mussoorie it is cold weather with mild sun. Now, the questions based on this: in which place will the cloths on a cloth line dry quickly and why? In which place will they dry slowly and why? Will the atmospheric conditions at these places always remain the same, or all will they change? So, here if we talk about Kochi, which has cloudy weather here in the first place, it means there is little sunlight, the rainy season has started and moisture in the air will be high, and hence it will take a long time for the clothes to dry. So, you may have observed a similar situation at your place during the rainy season. Nowadays you can find this, you can observe this. Then at Bhopal there is hot sun, hot and sunny. The water in the wet cloths gets converted into vapor quickly and the clothes will dry within a short time. Then the next one, Mussoorie, which is located to the north of the Tropic of Cancer, hence it receives less solar heat. The air there is cool too due to its location on a mountain. Clothes take longer to dry here because of the medium heat and cool air. Not only the medium heat, there is a cool air also. So, factors like heat, moisture and wind influence the time taken by the clothes to dry. However, these conditions keep on changing. We always experience such changes. We all always experience atmospheric conditions prevailing at a place and at a given time. We often talk about it, but these conditions are short-lived, and this is what we call weather. We all always experience atmospheric conditions prevailing at a place and at a given time. Particular प्लेस में पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे जो एटमॉस्फेरिक कंडीशंस होती है उसके बारे में हम बात करते हैं, बोलते हैं, बट दिस कंडीशंस आर शॉर्ट लिव्ड. जैसे हम कहते हैं कि आज बहुत गर्मी हो रही है, तो पूरे दिन भर के लिए वैसी ही नहीं रहती है, या फिर कंटिन्यू वैसी ही नहीं रहती है. इट चेंज, एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल वेदर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी से द वेदर इज हॉट, कूल, ड्राई और sultry. But there is change in such conditions. Here you can see sunny day, partly sunny, partly cloudy, sun and rain. These are the different weather conditions of particular region or area. Now the next thing in this, climate. The average weather condition of a place observed over a long period of time is the climate of that region. I am repeating this. The average weather condition, it means that weather is a part of climate, it is clear. Observed over a long period of time, then it is the climate of that region. ज़्यादा टाइम के लिए किसी एक पर्टिकुलर प्लेस की वेदर कंडीशंस को अगर ऑब्जर्व किया जाएगा तो जो आंसर हमारे पास आएगा, जो ऑब्जर्वेशंस हमारे पास आएंगी, दैट इज कॉल्ड द क्लाइमेट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेस और ऑफ दैट रीजन. सो क्लाइमेट इज जनरली expressed as cool and dry or hot and humid or hot and dry. The scientists observe the weather in a region for many years, and with the help of such studies they define the mean weather conditions. जनवरी से स्टार्ट किया, दिसंबर तक ऑब्जर्व किया, and by observing throughout a year, conclusions are written, and by that weather is decided or it is written somewhere and it is declared that the weather of this particular place or the weather of this particular region is so and so. For example, it is cool and dry, or it is hot and humid, or it is hot and dry. But for that, the very basic and the important condition is that it should be of a long period observation. एक दिन का या 2 दिन का नहीं, लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑब्जर्वेशन करने के बाद ये डिसाइड किया जाता है. Climate change, which is regional weather change, and global warming, which increasing temperatures worldwide. These are the interpretations, or we can say these are the studies, or these are the observations about the changing climate of the world. The weather changes quite often due to changes in temperature, winds, air pressure, humidity, moisture and precipitation. We always experience the changes, a sum total of all these elements define weather. These affect our day-to-day activities and lifestyle also. Elements of weather are taken into consideration while describing the climate. And the elements of weather which are temperature, air pressure, winds, moisture and precipitation. Now one by one we'll study this in detail. So the first thing in the elements of weather, that is temperature. The earth's surface gets heat from the sun, which we know, and because of this the surface gets heated. The air close to the surface starts becoming hot, and later one by one different layers of air at higher elevation receives heat, and therefore as we move upward from sea level the temperature of air decreases. The temperature also goes on decreasing from the equator towards both the poles, and this thing is very important in describing the climate. There are number of important elements of weather that have to be measured and recorded hourly or daily, that is temperature, wind, cloud, sunshine, visibility, humidity, pressure, precipitation. The earth's surface gets heat from the sun, and then the different layers of the air with different or various temperatures are formed. So the temperature also goes on decreasing from the equator towards both the poles. Then in this, the next thing, air pressure. Air has weight, and as a result it creates pressure, which is called air pressure. The lowermost layers of air get subjected to the pressure of the upper layers, and hence the density of the lower layers of air increases. In the image also you can see gravity pulls the air molecules towards the earth, giving them weight, and the weight of the air molecules all around us is called the air pressure. Now because of this, what happened? There is greater air pressure near the surface of the earth, and it decreases with increasing height. Decreases with increasing height. This is vertical air pressure. The changes also occur in a horizontal manner, and this gives rise to winds. But these factors which are important, or it is very important to take into consider all these factors while studying weather or climate of particular place. Then in this, the next one, winds. Air starts moving from high pressure towards lower pressure areas in a horizontal direction, and this moving air is called wind. Wind blows from high to low pressure, as we know and studied also. Wind blows from high to low pressure areas, and its speed depends on the amount of difference in air pressure. विंड्स की जो स्पीड होती है वो सब डिपेंड करता है एयर प्रेशर पे. विंड मूव्स from high pressure to low pressure. In the cold temperature, molecules closer together, packed tightly, more dense, more pressure. Here you can see. And in warmer temperatures, molecules further apart, unpacked, like here, less dense, and that's why less pressure. Then the next thing, or the next element of weather, that is moisture. The atmosphere contains vapor, The air that has greater amount of vapor is called humid air. If it is high amount of vapor in the air, then it is humid air. The humidity in the atmosphere is called moisture. And here is the answer about this question. What is moisture? The humidity in the atmosphere is called moisture. And what is humidity? If there is great amount of vapor, then it is called humid air. The proportion of moisture in the atmosphere depends on temperature. Air with higher temperature holds a greater amount of moisture. अगर टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा है तो मॉइस्चर ज़्यादा पकड़ के रखती है एयर. नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट ऑफ द वेदर दैट इज precipitation. Vapor in the atmosphere condenses into water droplets or into snow particles. The showering on the earth is called precipitation. Now it may be in the form of rainfall, snowfall or hailstorm, which are forms of precipitation. Here you can see rain, sleet, hail, a snow. It may be in the form of rain or in the form of snowfall or in the form of hailstorm. But whenever vapor in the atmosphere condenses into water droplets or snow particles and the showering on the earth is called precipitation. I hope now you people understood the basic difference between the climate and weather. Weather, which is described on the basis of the conditions prevailing at given time, while climate, which is described on the basis of conditions prevailing over a larger period or longer period. Weather keeps changing frequently and we can experience the changes easily. वेदर में अगर चेंज होता है तो हमें वो समझ में आता है. जैसे कल बारिश हो रही थी, आज गर्मी हो रही है और फिर कल ठंडी लगेगी. We can experience that change. But changes in the climate take place over a long period of time and these are not perceived easily. Easily हमें वो समझ में नहीं आते क्योंकि उसको बहुत टाइम लगता है. So latitudinal position, height above sea level, nearness to ocean, oceanic currents, etc. are the factors that influence climate. And beside this, mountain ranges, types of land, local winds are other factors that influence the climate of region. So this is all for today. In the next session of geography, we'll talk about the topic temperature. Subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications. So my dear ones, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.